Hey, true believers, ENGLENTINE here, and, well, obviously this is going to be a review of Spider-Girls, which is a chapter of Spider-Geddon. Now, it's playing like it's going to be a series, but I noticed Marvel's been doing this thing where instead of saying this is a chapter or something, like X-Men Black, come on, just call it X-Men Black and then freaking number it. But they're like X-Men Black Magneto #1, X-Men Black Mystique #1. Oy vey. Just, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore about Marvel and their #1s. Well, anyway, so long as we're focusing on this #1, it's not bad. It deals with the Spider-Man Renew Your Vows universe. Apparently this whole Spider-Geddon thing, this universe was ignored, of course. Didn't exist when the last Spider-Geddon happened. And, they're wondering why. All the other ones. It's really all over the place. It starts off with a family, and they're fighting animal-based villains, and that's brought up many times about how spider people seem to have animal-based villains. And, gosh, that's the whole book. I mean, seriously, what is there to talk about here? They fight vultures while joking about animal-based villains. And then other people, you know, like other Spider-Girls, Mayday shows up and tells them about, oh, Spider-Geddon is coming. And they're like, we've never heard of Spider-Geddon. What are you talking about? There's people, there's other spider people around? And they said, yes, let us tell you about the story that's happening in the main book for Spider-Geddon. That way you're caught up, not cut up, and all of the people who haven't read that book but picked this one up because they like Renew Your Vows are now caught up as well. And so they go through this whole thing, and then they have a fight with vulture people, and then they go through the story again. It's decent. I've got to say, I like the character moments. That is a strong suit as far as this book is concerned. Not a lot of this entire Spider-Geddon thing has really dragged me in and made me care about what was going on. This one, for as flimsy a plot, as flimsy a story it had, at least it had the character moments that made me interested in what was going on, which is, you know, something at least. And it's the first time I really cared about this whole Spider-Geddon storyline, to tell you the truth. I think it's kind of weird. They're like, hey, you remember Civil War from 10, 12 years ago? We're going to be doing Civil War 2. You remember World War Hulk from 10 or 12 years ago? We're going to be doing World War Hulk 2. Hey, remember Secret Wars from dang near 30 years ago? We're going to be doing Secret Wars 2. And now they're like, hey, you remember that whole spider thing that happened about 2 years ago? Yeah, we're going to be doing that again. I mean, come on, gang. Let's get some originality. And I understand, Joker comes back all the time. You do deal with the same villains a lot. But they don't make it multiple issue, multiple series crossovers every time the Joker comes back. And that's what they did here. And I know now I'm bitching about things that aren't this book. But in all honesty, I think I reviewed the book, and now I'm just kind of reviewing the whole concept of the crossover anyway. I mean, the book is entertaining, but it is paper thin for a storyline. I mean, it really is. It's good characters that deserve a better story, and actually the art's pretty decent too. You can see it right here. It isn't that weird cartoonish, let's make a She-Ra cartoon out of this kind of thing. I mean, you got some decent art here. It's not horrible. It's pretty good. And so you got some decent characters, some decent art, looking for a better story, a better plot. And unfortunately, it's like they understood that we need to get this information out there. Okay, so what are we going to do around that? Because if we just have big exposition book, then people are going to get bored. So they add in a few jokes about animal villains. They have a whole vulture team fight a whole spider team. The vultures get their butt kicks. They joke about it. End of story. I enjoyed this, but in no way, shape, or form can I recommend it. Now, on the opposite end of this particular spectrum, at least for everything except for one part, we have Death Orb. I mean, it is almost like Spider-Girl's complete opposite. And by that I mean there's a lot of stuff happening here with nearly no exposition. We see what's going on, but we're not actually given why it's going on. Now, this is the old trope. It's a Mad Max kind of thing where he's in the post-apocalyptic world, or at least that's what it comes off as, and this guy is looking for his family. Now, why is he looking for his family? They're missing. Okay, why are they missing? We do know she's pregnant. Okay, so why is everybody acting weird anytime he says, hey, have you seen my pregnant wife? They don't want to tell us. So who is he, and why is he such an amazing fighter and willing and able to kill an entire bar of people? They don't mind telling us. So what is this world where we're dealing with somebody who is blind, his eyes are cut out, yet he gives and receives visions? They don't tell us. There's so much happening in this. It's like they're trying to distract us from something else. Like while we're reading this comic book, they're going through our drawers trying to find our valuables or something like that. This isn't an actual book. This isn't an actual story, at least in issue 1. I know a lot of people write for trade paperbacks, so maybe we're going to get every piece of information we need down the line, but for this first issue, it's a distraction. Woo, look, things are happening, and isn't that cool? Doesn't that make for a great book? Like I said, it's not what, it's who and why that really make a good book. You can draw all sorts of action, but if you're not connected to the characters, it's just not gonna work, gang, or at least not as well as you hope. The art's okay, although their paneling's a little bit off. Like there's one bit where he's talking to the old guy after, right, this one right here. This is a horrible. You're supposed to find out that he's holding the severed head as a reveal, but there he is holding the severed head. You don't have to. The way the dialogue is set up, that's a big reveal that he cut off the guy's head, and that's the kind of thing. The paneling is just, it's off. It's just a bit off. Goodness gracious, what else to say about this? That I cover the art is okay. The coloring is, you know, a lot of purples. The story just isn't there. Yeah, nothing. There's a lot of action. A lot of stuff happening, but no, why? Why is it happening? Why is there a cult? Also, there's a oh, by the way, there's a cult here. Did you know that? No, you didn't, because you haven't read the book. And don't worry, they won't tell you what it's about or why it's about it, but when somebody says, hey, we've got these people and we can cure them, they go, kill them. Wait a second, it would be an easy cure. Kill them. It's just bizarre. Even in the hospital, he's looking for his wife, and when somebody asks him for identification, he starts a big-ass fight and he runs away. Okay, why? Why is this person who is desperate to find a loved one willing to cause harm to somebody and start a fight instead of going through the proper, you know, we don't know. So he comes off like a douche, and we're wondering, okay, what's going on? What? I don't know. Other than he's trying to find his wife and kids, what's the motivation? Why did he start the fight? What is it about this world in that particular hospital that makes him untrustworthy? Well, okay, now we found out that maybe that's the hospital with the death cult, but does he know about the death cult? If so, how? Oh, well, we'll find out that later. It's in the trade paperback. Every question you have will be answered later because it's written for the trades. I guess that's what's going on here. But like I said, this is way opposite of Spider-Girls because that was exposition. This not so much, except for in one situation, and that is I cannot recommend this book. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Did you get Death Orb? Did you get Spider-Girls? If so, what did you think? Did you like them? Did you hate them? Am I right? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, you know the drill. Click like. Sharing, of course, gets word out about the channel. And if you haven't done it already, hit subscribe. And don't forget to ring that notification bell. Be a part of the notification squad if YouTube gets off their ass and actually notifies anybody. Also, if you don't mind helping out the channel, go on over to Patreon. Links in the description below. Drop $1 in the till and helps keep the lights on. Helps keep making videos for you. Thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.